change, real change, doesn't happen because you overpower something within yourself. The reason is very simple. Because whenever you do battle, you split yourself into two. It is just one part in you trying to destroy another part. But when your being as a whole in silence, in awareness, effortlessly separates from something, it is an integrated whole being transformation that in so many ways you didn't do. You cannot do transformation. Yesterday, I was watching through my window at the clouds constantly transforming themselves. It's quite a thing to see this shape in a constant movement, so flexibly becoming condensed and then dispersing, taking another form. And I thought to myself, could we be like that? Like letting something shape us. Without needing to force it. You came to this retreat, and silence may do many things with you. First, it may lead you to extreme exhaustion. Or a headache. Or confusion. Just let it all happen. Flow. See if you can be like a stream of a river. Not trying to fix and to put yourself into a certain position or state. Please understand, transformation always happens accidentally. The great Jiddu Krishnamurti said, when it comes to God, God is something that you just meet on the way by accident. It's never a scheduled meeting. You cannot prepare for it. You cannot do the right thing. It doesn't work like this. In a way, it's always like when you fall asleep. It always happens when you are not there. When you are relaxed enough. Allow everything to flow. Don't be a manager. Any thoughts, any processes that need to take place. You cannot transform yourself. It is impossible. There is, at the core of our being, or rather between us and the core of our being, a sort of a manager. It's an inner doer. This manager or doer is usually needed because we need to have something, some structure that mediates between us and the world, that can select from our thoughts a certain thought that we can act on, and so on and so on. Psychologically, we need this doer as a function. But first of all, pay attention, I said, as a function. This function has become ourselves. And second, in a retreat, you don't need this function. Like always trying to place ourselves in the certain position, a state, to make ourselves better, to fix our thoughts, fix our emotions. This is not spiritual enough, or this is now exactly the state. Let's keep it like that. Let yourself be a cloud. Allow something else to shape you. This something else is the silence. You see, because silence is such an intelligent and aware state. Because all the energy we are wasting all day long on reacting is neutralized. And then it can flow slowly towards the center of our being. From which we can look at everything anew. Suddenly, the more silence grows, you can look from a certain distance at your patterns of thoughts, of emotion, certain behaviors, certain all forms of clinging and attachment that we have throughout the day. But just look at them. Not to change them. And at a certain point, if that happens, because you cannot do that, you can only grow in awareness. That's it. At a certain point, your innermost being takes a look at a certain pattern, addiction, emotion, and say, what is this? What is this pacifier? What is this teddy bear? I don't want this teddy bear anymore. And as soon as your innermost being says, I don't need this anymore, or what is this? It's not even I don't need sounds negative, like a lot of effort. It's just like, what is it? something that was completely ingrained in your being, your personality, suddenly looks not relevant. And then there is no pushing, you see? There is no battle around it. It's just your being has matured. And it's silent. It's without any even victory. You don't say, yeah, I did it. It's just the cloud that you are has changed once again. You did nothing. All of the major changes that have happened in my own being were just a result of looking at things and seeing that they are irrelevant. That's it. And even the looking was already the result of a deeper process of awareness. That is why I'm saying, please, don't try to change. The whole trouble begins when we bring our inner doer, which is a function for communication with the world, and appoint it the manager of our transformation. Remember from yesterday, just like when you tell the mind, you are in charge of understanding reality, and it says, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? Don't do it. But then it's too late. The mind is in charge and tries to philosophize about the meaning of life and who we are, and tries to conceptualize it. Because it's not its function. Everyone needs to do what they're meant to do. Right? And you are in charge. Your role is to do nothing. And you know what's the strange magic is that we always try to improve ourselves, to love more, to be nicer, to accept ourselves. to be more open. And the more we try it, the more rigid we become. This is because the least you do, the more loving, nicer, self-accepting you are. You cannot make yourself more loving or more happy. This doesn't work. It just doesn't work. But when there is non-doing, our being reveals all these qualities as a simple result of availability. Really let natural forces work on you. If there is laughter, laugh. If there are tears, cry. If meditation happens, meditate. If there is a confusion, let the confusion become itself a purifier. Just like a storm with a heavy rain that eventually washes the earth. It cleanses. You see, because this is the thing, this is the process that takes place in our life, how our personality becomes rigid and fixed. At a certain point, natural processes of change cannot happen. We become fixed. By identifying with a certain set of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, and the more we try to change them, the worse it becomes, because we also want to change them, and at the same time don't want to change them. They have become ourselves. And at the same time we want to push them away. So then we begin to have a certain constant battle, being split against ourselves. While our personality becomes so fixed, unchangeable. This is your chance, not to transform, but to watch transformation. Not to change, but to let things naturally die away. Simply because you give them the space, finally. You contain them in silence. You hold them in listening. And in silence, all the structures of the personality, every thought, they become magnified. You can actually feel them. They become loud. They become evident. They are not hidden. They are not integrated into your natural behavior because there is no natural behavior. There is no action. So just look, listen, watch. That's it.